Hello dear learners, I, A.S. Kulkarni, welcome you on this presentation on hospital manufacturing. So in this presentation, we'll see non-sterile manufacturing. Learning outcomes of today's presentation are, after completion of this presentation, you will be able to remember the requirements of non-sterile manufacturing. Also, you will be able to create the non-sterile pharmaceutical dosage forms. So, roadmap of today's presentation. First, we will go for the introduction of non-sterile manufacturing. Afterwards, we will move bulk concentrate and we will see the manufacturing of liquid orals. Before going to actual presentation, here is a reflection spot. How will you maintain the standards for non-sterile manufacturing? You just pause the presentation, try to write the answer for it and then play the presentation. Yes, you are right. Let's move forward. Here we will see the non-sterile manufacturing. Non-sterile manufacturing is different than the sterile manufacturing. So here actually fabrication of dosage form except the parenteral products. So parenteral products which is directly administered to the body, whereas the non-sterile product which is administered orally or topically. So in case of non-sterile manufacturing, no need to maintain the aseptic condition, but in case of parenteral preparation, it is essential to maintain the aseptic area. So just remember here, those products which are manufactured except parenterals called as non-sterile products. So the non-sterile products includes oral liquids, syrups, emulsions, tablets, capsules and suppositories. So at the time of preparation of these products, need not to maintain the aseptic condition. So here production is carried out according to the standards laid down under Schedule M and N of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945. So in this Schedule M, here some requirements are given or the standards are given to manufacture the non-sterile product. So these products have quite longer shelf life. Manufacturing is less complicated than parenterals because at the time of parenteral preparation, so it is necessary to connect all the department each other and maintain the aseptic condition. So in case of non-sterile manufacturing, it is not essential to maintain the aseptic condition. So definitely for this reason, as compared to the parenteral preparation or sterile preparation, here the manufacturing of a non-sterile product is less complicated. So requirements for premises given under the Schedule M and N of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945. So by maintaining these requirements, that manufacturing unit must go for the non-sterile manufacturing. So this is about the non-sterile manufacturing. Let's move forward. Here we'll see the bulk concentrate. So bulk concentrate is a concept. Here the actually product which is manufactured in high concentration with the bulk, and afterwards by diluting that particular product they will dispense to the patient as per the requirement. So these bulk concentrates, which are two types, the liquid bulk concentrate and semi-solid bulk concentrate. So here liquid concentrate includes syrup, elixir, etc., whereas semi-solid bulk concentrate includes paste, jellies, suppositories, ointments. So this bulk concentrate, which is prepared in advance by dissolving water soluble ingredients. So here sorbitol, parabens and flavoring agents may be added, so to maintain the stability. So these are some additives which are added at the time of a bulk concentrate preparation, so to maintain the stability of that particular product for long period of time, as well as a flavoring agent, and sorbitol is also added. So after preparation of that final product, so that should be filtered, so to get the clear solution. So after that, suitable solutions are made, or dilution which are made and dispensed to the inpatient and outpatient as per the requirement. So entire procedure is carried out in a bulk laboratory with adequate facilities. So at the time of preparation of this bulk concentrate, some standards should be maintained there, so which are laid down under the Schedule M and N of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945. So by maintaining these facilities, so that manufacturing unit must go for the bulk concentrate manufacturing. Coming to the next, here we will see the liquid oral. So liquid oral name itself indicate that these are the liquids which are administered orally. So these are classified into three groups, that is simple solutions, emulsions, suspensions. So let's see the simple solution. So simple solution is an homogeneous mixture composed of only one phase. So here after the manufacturing of simple solution, it become a one phase. So here the soluble ingredients which is dissolved in that particular vehicle. So for example, if drug is soluble in water, so then aqueous phase which is used here. If that drug is soluble in non-aqueous phase, so definitely that unit must select the non-aqueous solution to prepare the simple solution. You can see here is an simple solution which are made by adding the drug into the vehicle. So after that particular step or manufacture, it become a one phase. So let's see the second type of liquid orals, that is emulsions. So you know what mean that emulsion. So these are the biphasic liquid dosage form which contains two immiscible liquids. So these are under the oil in water type or water in oil type. So in this, oil is an dispersed phase and water is an continuous phase. Just remember here, continuous phase is a large volume in that preparation. So here in water in oil type, so water is an dispersed phase and oil is an continuous phase. So here in this preparation, the large volume is of the oil. So just remember here, the emulsion is an liquid preparation which have the two immiscible liquids. So at the time of preparation of this emulsion, here the suitable emulsifying agent which are added to remove the interfacial tension between that two layers or two phases. So let's see the next type, that is suspension. So suspension is an liquid dosage form, that is heterogeneous mixture of solid and liquids. So you have finely divided solids which is dispersed in liquid or semi-solid vehicle. So you can see in this picture. So here then cefixime oral suspension IP. Here that actually drug which is in the dry form, and when it is administered or before that administration, so that particular solution which is made by using the vehicle here, the water for injection. So just remember here, So suspension is a heterogeneous mixture in which solid particles do not dissolve but get suspended throughout the bulk of the solvent. Coming to the next, here we will see the advantages and disadvantages of liquid orals. So first we will see the advantages. So here the quick availability of absorption, because drug is present in the form of solution, so they directly absorb when it is administered, as well as irritant substance in a dry form to GIT can be given. So it allows the easy administration to infant and geriatric patients. Also, it assures the uniform dosage, as well as dose can be easily verified. So by maintaining the volume, or at the time of withdrawal of that particular dose, we can vary that particular dose. So here also hygroscopic drug given through only liquid form, so it helps to that particular drug or help to manufacture the liquid dosage form, because hygroscopic drugs can absorb the moisture easily. So these are the advantages of liquid orals. So let's see the disadvantages. So here the first disadvantage is less stable than solid dosage form, because it contains the moisture, so there may be a chances of bacterial contamination. So here the rate of degradation is faster as compared to the solid dosage form. So this disadvantages because of moisture content in that dosage form. So this is about the advantages and disadvantages of liquid oral. Let's see the next here, the manufacturing of liquids. So as I said earlier, the facilities and requirements which are specified under Schedule M and N of Drug and Cosmetic Act 1945. So all these facilities which are given in this Schedule M and N about the good manufacturing practices and the machineries which is required to manufacture it. So these are used as internal and external dosage form. So internals, it includes the oral solution, elixirs, drops, syrup, linctuses, etc. So whereas the external liquid orals includes the liniment, lotions, enema, etc. So here next we will see the formulation of liquid orals. So here actually the vehicle and additives which are included in the formulation, but active pharmaceutical ingredient is necessary. So first requirement is the active pharmaceutical ingredients which is added in that liquid oral. So here the active pharmaceutical ingredient shows the actual pharmacological action. So after that the vehicles and additives which are selected. So the vehicle or the selection of the vehicle, it depends on what type of drug it is, either it is soluble in that aqueous vehicle or non-aqueous vehicle. So here the simple water is used as a vehicle, for example purified water. So also the aromatics which are used here, aromatic waters as a vehicle, for example chloroform water, peppermint water, cinnamon water, or the dill water, as well as the syrup which are used here, the simple syrup which have the concentration of sucrose in the liquid about 66.67%. Also glycerides which are used, for example glycerin, as well as hydroalcohols which are used in case of the preparation of elixirs. So these are the some vehicles which are used at the time of preparation of the different dosage form. Also here the additives which are added at the time of liquid oral preparations. So flavors like lemon spirit, also here the compound orange spirit which are also used here, as well as some preservatives like chloroform, parabens, benzoic acid, which are also added at the time of the preparation of liquid dosage. So it helps to maintain the stability of that particular dosage form and prevent the entry of microorganisms or the antimicrobial growth. So you just remember here, in the formulation of liquid orals, 3 ingredients required, that is first one, that is actually drug, second one vehicle, and third, that is additives. So here we will see the preparation of linctuses. So linctuses are the cup of preparations containing expectorant in a simple syrup. So here simple syrup is used as a vehicle. So just remember here, these are the preparation which treat the cough infection or cough disease. So these are prepared by stirring medicament, that is actually drug, in a vehicle. Also the colors, flavors and preservatives are added with continuous agitation in orderly manner. So this is simple procedure for preparation of linctuses. First, the drug which is added in the vehicle with the continuous stirring, and afterwards the additives are also added to maintain the stability of that particular linctus preparation. So you can see in this picture, here is an couplet accept linctus which are used in case of cough. Also here the simple cinctus. So these are the preparation which are used to treat the cough disease. So just remember here, linctuses which are mainly used for the cough diseases or cough infection, so which contain the expectorant and that which are included or immersed or introduced in a simple syrup. So here simple syrup is used as a vehicle. So let's move forward here. Here we will see the preparation of elixir. So you can see in this picture, so here hyper elixir is there, so which is used as the anthelmintics. So here actually ingredient is, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient, that is piperazine. So here this preparation is used as an anthelmintics. So here the elixirs which are clear, flavored and sweetened hydroalcoholic preparation. So here the hydroalcoholic, that vehicle which is used, that is aqueous as well as the non-aqueous vehicle, so in a different concentration. So just remember here, so these are the clear hydroalcoholic preparation. So here at the time of preparation, here some major ingredients are added, also some minor ingredient. That is major ingredient includes the ethanol 5 to 40% in that particular preparation, and water is about 50 to 90%. Also some minor ingredients which are added like syrup, that is the concentration of sucrose or any sugar molecule, as well as the flavors and preservatives and some other ingredients to maintain the stability of that particular product. So these are prepared by dissolving 2 or more ingredients. So in case of drug which is dissolved in the aqueous phase, so here the aqueous soluble medicaments which is dissolved in the water, and the non-aqueous soluble medicament which is dissolved in the alcohol. So after that you will get the two mixture, that is aqueous mixture and here non-aqueous mixture. So after that the aqueous phase or that aqueous mixture is slowly added to the alcoholic phase with continuous agitation. So to mix that two phases, aqueous and non-aqueous phase. So after that finally a required volume which is made by adding the vehicle, that is hydroalcoholic vehicle, and the final volume which is made. So after that if solution is turbid, then allowed to stand for few hours, then it is filtered. So this allowing is allowed to stand is for to settle down the particles which is present in that liquid. So sedimentation is takes place with that particular product, and after that without shaking the filtration is done. So in this way these elixirs which are prepared. Let's move forward here. Here we will see the equipments are required for the preparation of liquid orals. So the first equipment, that is storage tank for vehicle, that is for aqueous vehicle. So you can see in this picture the different tanks which are used to store the different vehicles which are for the liquid preparations. So here the first tank is used for the aqueous vehicle for the storage purpose. Second, here the storage tank for alcohols, that is non-aqueous vehicles. Third, mixing vessels is also required there to mix the different phases. So here propeller, turbine or paddle is used to mix the phases. So here also portable mixers, small vessels and other utensils which are also required to manufacture the liquid orals. So here filtration assembly is also required, for example filter press, vacuum filter, because liquid orals should be clear. So for that purpose here they are filtered by using this filtration assembly. So also it requires the bulk storage tank. So after manufacturing the finished product, it is necessary to store in a bulk storage tank. So after that it is filled in the container, that is the final container, and packaging is done. So for that purpose here filling and packaging machineries are required. So this is about the equipments required for the liquid preparation. So let's move forward here. So here we will see the syrup. So syrup is an aqueous solution of sucrose or other sugars. So here the sugar molecule which is dissolved in the aqueous phase. So they may be in a viscous in nature and sweet in taste. So definitely sugar molecule which is sweet in taste. So viscosity, if that particular concentration is more in that particular vehicle, so definitely it will be in viscous in nature. So here we'll see the type of syrup. So first type is there, that is simple syrup. So it is the concentration or it is the mixture of the sucrose in aqueous vehicle is about 66.67%. So second type, that is medicated syrup. So here the in that particular syrup which have the actual drug, when drug is mixed in that particular syrup, it is called as a medicated syrup. And the flavored syrup used as for the flavoring purpose. So it's used as sweetening agent, as a preservatives, and the vehicle for anti-tissue, antibiotic, vitamins, analgesic and antibiotic. So syrup is used as the sweetening agent as well as the preservative and vehicle for the preparation of the medicated syrup. So here these syrups which are prepared by using these four methods. So solution with, so this is the first method which I use for preparation of syrup, that is solution with heat method. So this is the general procedure which I use for the syrup preparation. So here heat is used for this preparation of the liquid orals. So solution which is mixed or the syrup which is prepared by using the heat. Next one, the agitation without heat. So this is mainly used for if the substance which is thermolabile or volatile in nature. So here the agitation without heat method is used. So just remember here the heat is not used here, because here we are preparing the thermolabile product, or we can say that here the thermolabile drug which are used to prepare the syrup preparation as well as the volatile. So in these cases agitation without heat method is used. So third method is there, that is addition of a medicament to syrup. So here the directly syrup, that is simple syrup, is used as a vehicle here. So drug which is directly incorporated in that syrup. So some extracts and tinctures are there. So last method, that is percolation method. So here this extraction method is used to prepare the syrup. So this method is used to prepare the official preparation like syrup USP. So this is about the preparation methods used for the syrup preparation. So you can see in this picture, this is an Bicocil syrup. So here the simple syrup is used as a vehicle to get the medicated syrup. So let's move forward. Here we will see the preparation of emulsion. So you know what is meant that emulsion. So emulsion is an biphasic liquid dosage form containing two immiscible liquids in which one is converted into the minute globules as a dispersed phase and which is dispersed in a continuous phase. So here at the time of preparation of this emulsion, emulsifying agents which are added to reduce the interfacial tension between the two immiscible liquids. So just remember here, this is an heterogeneous system in which dispersed and continuous phases are there. So dispersed phase is finely divided in small globules and dispersed phase in continuous phase. So here that particular small globules as a dispersed phase which is dispersed in a continuous phase with the help of the emulsifying agent. So you can see in this picture, so this is an water in oil type of emulsion and this is an oil in water type of emulsion. So in this oil in water type of emulsion, here water is an continuous phase, water is an dispersed phase and oil is an continuous phase. So you can see here the continuous phase in a large volume and the dispersed phase in a small. So whereas in case of oil in water type of emulsion, so here oil is an dispersed phase and water is an continuous phase. So you can see in this picture the water phase is an large volume. So these are prepared by adding the suitable emulsifying agents. So these are prepared by using these three methods. So that is dry gum method, is also called as 4-to-1 method, wet gum method, it is also called as English or American method, and last method is used for the preparation of emulsion, that is bottle method. So let's see the first. So here the ratio of these three ingredients, that is oil, water and gum, that is 4:1. That is oil 4 part, water 2 part and gum 1 part. So here at the time of preparation, here the addition of ingredients in a sequence. That is first here the dry gum method, or in this method here first gum is a dissolve or this mixture which is takes place with the oil and gum, and here water which is added at the last. So first the mixture is prepared by using gum and oil and then water is added to the preparation. So this is a dry gum method. So whereas in wet gum method the ratio is same but the sequence of addition of ingredient is different. So here the first water with gum, that mixture is prepared and after that oil is added. So just remember, in a dry gum method here the first oil and gum mixture is prepared and then water is added. In case of wet gum method here first water gum mixture is prepared and then oil is added. So this is the difference between this dry gum method and wet gum method. Just remember the ratio is same but the addition of ingredient the sequence of addition of ingredient is different. So last we will see here the bottle method. So this method may be used to prepare emulsion of volatile oils and oleaginous substance of a very low viscosities. So if the drug of this category to be prepared as an emulsion, so this bottle method is used. So all the ingredients which is mixed here and which is placed in a bottle, and the shaking is takes place, or shaking is done with that preparation. So by using this bottle method, the emulsion which are used. So you just remember the bottle method is used when volatile oils and oleaginous substance with the low densities to be prepared as a emulsion. So this is about the non-sterile manufacturing. If you have any question, you can drop your question on my WhatsApp number or on my email ID. At the last, thank you for patient listening. Thank you very much.